Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome to the stuff. Vertical sources. ASIO mic is good. What is that? That random ASIO capture device though? Video alerts. ASIO input capture. All right. Before we do anything, let me double check some things. See if this works. That works, and let's see if this works.
Zero Dragons!
Yeah, that works. Cool. All right, so those all work. Vertical sources, that should be going from there. All right, give me one moment. What is up with this? This is nothing. I don't know why that's there even. Okay, we're back. All right, so that looks a little cleaner. All right, let's see if it's actually working with content. Go over to YouTube. Actually, I don't need YouTube. I can just play something off my PC, can't I? Yes, I can. Soundboard. This. Okay, audio is working correctly across all devices. Cool. So let's get on with what I'm doing tonight, which is my dailies and maybe some ooh foo foo, some reaction stuff. Yeah, we're just gonna be chatting tonight. So just chatting, chit chatting, all that stuff. I forgot to go live over here. One moment. There it goes. That should be going. Boom. Anytime. There we go. Now it's working. Great. So vertical stream should be up. Everything else should be up. So let's start today with Gamedle. Let's go ahead and go over to Gamedle. All right, let's do cover art. Oh, that's Monster Hunter Wilds. That one is too easy. Monster Hunter Wilds. Way too easy. Everyone should be guessing that. That is a recent game. Yeah, far too easy. All right, let's go guess the game. I'm going to say that looks like, I was just talking about this game. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. One of the games that I was really let down by 81%. Not Mercenaries 2. Will this be Just Cause 3? Not Just Cause 3, but it is a Just Cause game on PS3 PC. That actually looks like Just Cause 2. Yeah. Okay. Wow, it actually does. That is pretty zoomed in, but that actually looks better than I remember for a PS3 game. They've got some other things right here. Let's try. What is Guess the House? Enter what you think the price of the home is and click submit. If you are within 5% of the actual price, you win. All 6 pictures are from the same home. If you get it wrong, you will reveal an additional screenshot of the home with an additional hint. That means more than 50% too low. 1 arrow means within 50%. Double arrow down means too high by 50%. 1 arrow down means within 50%. Okay, so we are in Aurora, Colorado. Okay. Aurora, Colorado. Ooh, Colorado. That's going to be what I'm going to say 680. I'm within 50%. Okay. We're within 50%, but it is a little lower. So, how you doing, Marisol? price of this home in Aurora, Colorado? It is a nice looking home. It is a fairly nice looking home. Let's see. Nice interior. It's lower than 680. Would it be as low as like 570? Even lower than 570. Please don't ask that kind of question. 570 but lower. Maybe 480? 500,000, 4% from the exact price. 6,800 square foot lot. Wow. 3 bed, 3 bath, 1979. $500,000 house. That is insane. I've got a job. Thank you. Let's go to guess the angle. Okay. So we're under 90 degrees. Hello, Racha. How you doing? My job is one I get paid at. Let's go with it's got to be pretty close to 90 degrees. So let's go for, I'm going to say an 80. No, 86 doesn't seem, 4 degrees off doesn't seem enough. Let's go with 83. It's lower. Is lower than 83 degrees. You're Grayson? Okay, good for you, Marisol. Let's go with a 79 degree. Higher than 79, lower than 83. We are right at it. 82. Perfect. Okay, so we did guess the house, guess the angle, guess the game. Let's go over and check out global. And let my lack of geography skills really show off. Any country on the planet. Let's go with Russia. We are 5,100 miles from a border in Russia. Hey, cool, Racha. Great to hear. Glad to see you here. All right, so we can be 5,100 miles. Thanks for the sub. 5,100 miles. So we might be as far as Spain. We might be as south as Vietnam. Let's try Vietnam and rule out. All right, Vietnam is further away, so we are not in Asia. Let's try Spain. Spain is 4,000 miles away, so we gotta go south. So let's try Sudan. Spain is closer, so we are on Africa. We are in Africa again. Let's do Côte d'Ivoire. Can never spell that correctly. Côte d'Ivoire is further away than Spain. Would we be Greenland? Greenland is a territory, not a country. Okay. Iceland. Iceland is 3,800 miles away. Canada? Okay, we are in North America. Okay, Canada is 1,600 miles away. Let's try Mexico. 820 miles away. So we are right in here. Panama. If I finish spelling Panama, that helps. Panama is 675 miles away. Nicaragua? 620 miles away. Oh, would we be Cuba? 70 miles away. So we are one of the islands here. That's Cuba, so maybe Jamaica. Jamaica is cooler. Okay, so all right. Thanks for coming by in the sub, Racha. Don't get kicked by your boss. All right, let's go to Haiti. Haiti? Country is Haiti. All right. Took me 13 guesses today. That is not awesome. All right, let's go to time guesser. Daily. All right, we have an older picture. It looks like I want to say this would be a gentleman's club in India somewhere from like before World War One. So I would say like 1913. It might be like 19. It might be after World War One though, but it's probably a British club in India because Britain doesn't have these kind of hills. Oh wait, what am I talking about? There's a pyramid right there. We're in Egypt. We're in we've got to be in Cairo. Where the wait. Great Pyramid of Giza. Is that going to be the Pyramid of Giza right there? That might be the pyramid. So let's put us right here. And I'm going to say, yeah, 1913 is a good guess. 7 years off, pretty close. 1.4 kilometers away. Should have put myself closer to the pyramids. Tourists and locals attending a garden party on the terrace of a hotel in Giza, Egypt, during the early 20s. Okay. Geez, Southwest Airlines. We've got a somewhere in America. North America. I want to say Michigan. I want to say somewhere in Michigan. The snow is making me think Michigan for some reason, but it might be. Could be Buffalo. Could be Newark. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say Cleveland, and I'm gonna say sometime in the late '80s. Detroit. Should have went to Chicago. Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 landing at Chicago's Midway Airport over the wreckage of another Southwest Airlines that skidded off the runway whilst landing in heavy snow. 17 years off. That was 2005? Damn. Damn. Okay, so I was off. It's Illinois, not Michigan. All right, so boo on me. Okay, where are we at? Maison de whatever. Pomponette Restaurant. Successor Valentine. This is either France or Italy. I'm going to go Italy. I'm going to go Florence. And I'm going to go 79. 4 years off in Paris. Should have went to France. Should have gone France. All right. Okay. Okay. 75. So not too far off in the years. Viva de la Senegal Independent. So we're in Senegal. We've got to be in Senegal. This has got to be Senegal. Where is Senegal? Oh, shoot. All right, we got Tunisia, Egypt, Sudan, Eritrea, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Nigeria, Togo, Ghana. Where is Senegal? Western Sahara? I don't know where Senegal is. There's Rwanda, Angola. It's not this far south. We have Mozambique, Djibouti. I thought Senegal was like over here on Western Africa. Where is Senegal? That's Cameroon, Congo. Crap. I feel bad for not knowing where Senegal is. Or is Senegal... No, Senegal's not going to be an island, is it? Cape Verde. Shoot. All right, I'm unfortunately just going to have to put it in somewhere in Cameroon. I'm going to say this is 76. 62. Oh, my God. Yeah, right there. It's right there. All right, that's on me. All right, we are in Mecca. We're in that would be, is this in Jerusalem? Where's Gaza? This is the it's the Mecca. I don't know the actual name. I just remember it as the Mecca in my brain. Oh crap! What is that? Is it down here? No, I don't think it's down here. I think it has to do in Israel, right? Would it be Jerusalem? Mount Zion? It wouldn't be this, right? Old City, Jerusalem. We'll just put it right there. We'll put this relatively recently, like 2007, 2015. Oh, geez. See the pilgrims walking around the Kaaba, performing the Tawaf as part of the Hajj pilgrimage in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Mecca. Yeah. Not even 30,000. That's a terrible, terrible performance by me. Okay, let's do Costco real quick. Kirkland's signature beef round top round roast boneless. I don't know the price of this, unfortunately. They don't show the ounces. But I would say, are we guessing price per pound, or am I going to say that is about a 2 or 3 pound roast? And it's top round, signature beef, which signature beef is bull crap. Let's say it's $15.99 down. Okay, so maybe we're doing price per pound, which if we're doing price per pound, be $8 a pound. Not even $8 a pound. $4.99. Higher than $4.99. $5.99. Lower. What? What bullshit? $5.49. $5.59. So you're doing cost per that. You're doing price per pound. They should have said that. They should have said price per pound. All right, let's see my terrible performance on movie to movie. All right, so today we have to go from Rain Man to Arrival. I think I'm going to have a better shot going from Arrival to Rain Man, because it's easier for me to picture movies with Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman than it is for me to see Amy Adams or Jeremy. Actually, you know what? No, I could go the other way. Let's just start with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has been in a ton of stuff. Amy Adams. Tom Cruise was in Austin Powers? Did not know that. Oh, wait. If I do... No, I'm thinking of Repo with Jude Law. No, wait, I'm thinking of a completely different actor, too. Shoot. All right. All right, I'm getting way too far back for me to spot anything. Let's try Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow, I go Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt, Jeremy Renner, Amy Adams. How do I get to Jeremy Renner or Amy Adams? Do I go through... Ah, crap. I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole right now. Garrett Dillahunt, maybe? Sergio benched, Widows, Wheelman, Beast, Revenge for her Jolly, The Road is Viggo Mortensen, Brad Pitt, No Country for Old Men. That's not Jeremy Renner, right? I could go through and get... All right, let's go benched. This is not helping me. John C. McGinley is not going to help me at all. All right, let's go back to Looper and do Paul Dano. Paul Dano is not going to help me at all. What did I think that for? All right, let's go back to Tom Cruise. Let's bring it right back to Tom Cruise, and let's go through for Maverick. Maverick, we grab... Oh, wait, John Hamm. And then John Hamm is in Tag. Jeremy Renner is in Tag. And then Arrival. There we go. I did it in 3. They can do it. Dustin Hoffman, Barney's version, Larry Day. All right. Let's go to the most frustrating one of all, because they all look terrible to me. This is Scrandle. The return of the cheese panini. Good Lord. I hate this thing. This thing annoys the fuck out of me because it's so... I don't see cheese. I see butter and what looks like the crust of cheese right here. England, what the fuck? £3 50 pence for a fucking boring ass... Did someone tear the cheese out when they opened it up? Did it fall off? What the fuck? I'm going to say bread, lard, paprika, and raw onion is better than just this disappointment. Because at least this is like a third the price. Okay, we have equally disgusting looking hot dogs. I'm going to say the internet did not choose this one because of the texture. Let's go for the cheesy hot dog for £1 more. God, don't you bring that. Okay. I would love. This looks delicious to me because I know what it is. This looks like those that know would choose this over this. This looks amazing. This looks overpriced. I'm gonna be wrong. Yeah. All right. Okay. They're both the same price. The one on the left at least has Kraggles in it, Cragglies. This one just, it looks soggy as shit. Yeah. Okay. Kiwi and sausage. You've got to be kidding me, Japan. Japan, what? Who puts fruit on a pizza? The only fruit that is acceptable on a pizza is tomatoes when they're in a sauce. Or maybe pineapple with very specific toppings. Kiwi. No. This is the same country that puts freaking like apples and bananas, though. I thought that one looked too greasy to be the internet. Okay. Potato tornado or long fries with cheese. I'm going to say potato tornado. Korea has better food than Japan. Fight me on that one. All right. England, you look depressing as hell. Like you're out of the war. You're out of the war, England. What the hell? You're out of the war. This one looks like I'm gonna say this one. Okay. Okay. We have a chicken shawarma or bread filled with chorizo. I'm gonna go chicken shawarma. Okay. Bread with cheese and mushroom with mystery sauces. Okay. Or bread with cheese. So a baguette pizza or a baguette open-faced Philly. Why did you put ketchup on your pizza, Poland? Poland, who? I was about to say who hurt you, but open a history book and you see. This is the same picture. This is the same picture. What? This is the exact same picture. So it doesn't matter who I pick? How? That's I hate Scrandle sometimes. I really hate Scrandle sometimes. Scrandle can just be oh, Scrandle can be annoying. Okay. So let me go ahead and hide some things while I set up the next thing. Okay, so I've been playing some Naruto. Naruto is going to be coming up on the channel in a bit, and I just realized that you guys could see it on the mobile, on the vertical version. Okay, so we're going to be doing Naruto women and Naruto men. So we have Fu versus Mei Terumi. I know who Mei Terumi is. When I stopped watching Naruto, I at least got to Mei Terumi. I do not know who Fu is. I'm going to say Mei Terumi just because familiarity. Shizune is awesome. Shizune is actually pretty awesome. That is a child. No, they're both children. What the hell? Anko is actually kind of badass. Like the only problem with Anko is that she's not in the show long enough and she doesn't do enough things. But she does seem pretty cool. When I think she's one of the ninjas that goes up against Itachi and Kusumi or Kusugami or whatever his name is, the sharkfish guy. She seemed like a very interesting character that we just didn't get to be around. But Tamari's Tamari. Kurenai. Kurenai is also. Tenten. Yes, I don't know who the other one is. Sume Yeah, Tsunade. I would rather Konan than Sakura. All right. Hear me out. I'm not a furry. I'm not a scaly. I don't like it. Shima is funny as fuck. Karine is like scary with like yandere vision. So Shima. Uh, ooh. This Hinata? No. Older Hinata from Shippuden forward. Boruto, yes. This Hinata, no. What Hinata grows into, yes. I'll say Samui. Uh, you gotta go with the slug. The slugs are awesome. All right, the slugs are awesome. I never got to Kaguya. I think she was in the Chunin exam that we saw. I'm just gonna say you because you're an Uchiha. You're cool automatically. Mikoto Uchiha because you're an Uchiha. All right, so we're down to. All right, so I know who Shizune is. I do not know who Samue is. Shizune. I'm gonna. Oh, okay. These are the kind of matchups that everyone is going to see and be like, okay, yeah, we can understand why this matchup is taking place. I am gonna go for Ino. Yeah, Ino. Katsuya. Mikoto. I think that's why did I call him Suzaku? Sasuke's mom. Tsunade. I'm gonna go with Conan because I know who she is. Is this Choji's mom or something? It looks like Choji's mom. Kurenai Sensei versus the other one. Conan, because I know who you are. It's gotta be the slug. Why is the slug winning so much? Kurenai. I think I know who my winner is. Tsunade. Oh, this is the matchup that I was hoping would be at the end, where you have Mama Ninja versus Mama Ninja, and they're just awesome. But for right now, I think Kurenai has the sadder story and just more depth. Conan, slugs only get you so far, and it's Kurenai for the win. Yeah, Kurenai Sensei is mine. Tsunade, understandable. Hinata, understandable. Mei, okay, I guess. Kushina, I don't even think I got. Kurenai's number 5, understand. Sakura being 9, I mean, that's just, you never got over your crush. You never got over an old crush as a kid. That's what that says about you. All right. Naruto men. Shikamaru. Shikamaru is so much better than Sai. Black Zetsu. Yeah. He's got that dog in him. Hanzo is so much cooler than the commanding dog. Who are you? I know who you are. I don't know who you are. Mifune's cool. Fuck Kabuto. Hidan. I hate Hidan, but fuck Kabuto so much. The frog's funny as hell, so we'll choose him. Fourth Raikage or Ebisu. I gotta go Ebisu, actually. Oh, Morini. Ibiki Morini is so cool. Zabuzo is so cool. Hizashi? Ooh, you actually have. This is a good matchup. Mike Guy or Rock Lee? I gotta say, not seeing too much more of Rock Lee. I like Rock Lee and where he goes, and I like that he doesn't use bullshit. He's just like catch these hands. But Mike Guy, like you see him open the ninth gate, and you're like, God damn. Let's go with this random ninja that dies in a war. That's 2 people, so that is a disqualification in my mind. Gamakichi, yes. That's a dude. Asuma. Okay, we'll go with this guy. Danzo or Hagoromo? Danzo. Yeah. Kisame or Tsukage? All right, Kisame. Naruto or Shisui? Naruto? Simply because Naruto can't lose in the first round. I'm going to say Jinpachi. I'm going to say Tajima Uchiha. I'm going to say Yamato. Deidara. Madara Uchiha. Irika Sensei. I'm going to say Misumi. I'm going to say Kakashi. Easy fight there. Ayoba. We're going to go for Baki. Fuck Sasori. Sasuke. Shino. Okay. Naruto wins over that guy. Kakashi easy over Danzo. I'd say Sasuke because I know who Sasuke is more. Yamato over. I like Ibi, but Yamato. Isuma Kamazuki. We're gonna go Yamakichi. We're gonna go with Hisashi Hyuga. Come on. Ebisu's cooler than Hidan. Asuma. We're going to go with Shino. He's got the cool bug powers. He's actually one of the rare interpretations of having bug powers that doesn't immediately creep everyone out. It creeps a few people out, but it doesn't creep everyone out instantly. So, Blind Guy from like Men in Black? Frog Guy is cool. Frog Grandpa. Okay, now I like both of these characters so much. We got Mike Guy, who's awesome in a fight, versus Shikamaru, who is tactical as hell. I think I gotta go with Shikamaru. Yeah, Shikamaru is cooler in there. Zabuzu is so cool. Love Zabuzu. Madara Uchiha is cool as hell. Kisame is cooler. Kisame, because I know who Kisame is. Madara, I just know is so cool. Zabuzu, I think, is cooler than Bugs. He's a giant ninja. He's one of the classic antagonist ninjas with a giant sword. What more could you want? Let's go for Kakashi. Yamato's cool, but Yamato's, he's a one-trick pony. Kakashi is just cool. Shikamaru, he surpasses him. Gamakichi is cooler than the Frog Grandpa. Weird void eye guy. Naruto's cooler than Sasuke. Yeah, you heard it here. Shikamaru is cooler than Naruto, though. Zabuzu, it's going to be going down to like Kakashi. Oh, wait. No. Thing is, all right. So, personally, I've seen a lot more Kakashi in the anime. But I know what Madara gets up to. And Madara's got that dog in him. Which, like, Kakashi's got the dog in him. But Madara is like, God damn. So, we'll do Madara. Gamakichi. Shikamaru, that's an easy matchup. Zabuzu or... All right. I would say Madara, but Zabuzu is just so cool. I like the headband off to the side. I think it's cool that he's just like, yeah, I'm a ninja. I'm a pretty decent ninja too. But fuck you, I got a giant-ass claymore. It's cool. It's cool. It's got to be Shikamaru, though. Yeah. Those are some tough fights. Itachi, yeah, Itachi's pretty good. Minato's pretty good. Kakashi, Naruto, and Shikamaru. Okay, there you go. Madara, yep. Tobirami. Obito, I don't necessarily agree with, but I could see how people say I think it's the wrong choice, but it's fine. Orochimaru, no, you're weird. You should find some therapy. And Sasuke, find some therapy. All right. Let's hide that for the mainstream. And I don't know. We'll just go to video games. We'll do one more, and then I got to get to bed. Okay. Video game tournament 256. 256. I will play the full 256 to see my best video game. And we're starting off pretty hot. Horizon Forbidden West or Don't Starve Together. I prefer playing Horizon Forbidden West. I do realize how Don't Starve Together is very enjoyable, especially for multiple people. I just think Horizon Forbidden West is the better game. Cyberpunk 2077 versus Uncharted 4. Both are great games. I kind of prefer Uncharted 4 for the storytelling, but I like what you can do in Cyberpunk 2077 more. I've lost so many hours to Civilization, but not Civilization 6. So it's got to go to The Witcher for me. Dying Light 2, I've never played. I did play a lot of Dying Light 1, though. Or Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's just not my kind of game, so I'm going to go with Dying Light. Dark Souls, or no chance for Dark Souls. Yakuza 3 is so much cooler. Baldur's Gate 3 is also really good. Xenoverse 2 or Mario Kart? Mario Kart, I think, is a better game overall. All right, so I've played both of these games. I've beaten one of them. One of them is on my channel. You can go check it out. I've tried Stray. I wasn't I wasn't the biggest fan of what Stray was doing, so I gotta go Metroid Prime. No Man's Sky, I think, is better than just F1 racing. All right, so I have played a lot, and I mean a lot, of Monster Hunter Wilds. However, I think, and I haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet. I've only played Alan Wake 1. I would rather pick up Alan Wake 2 right now. If I had to play one of these tonight, I'd rather spend the money and play Alan Wake 2 than go back and play Wilds right now. Wilds needs some DLC to drop before it does that stuff. Assassin's Creed 2 versus Portal 2. That's an easy one. Slime Rancher or Unravel 2. I got to go Slime Rancher. We're going to go Cuphead is better than Little Nightmares. Breath of the Wild is better than Spider-Man 2. I think I've played I haven't played Dead by Daylight. I've seen it, though. I've played Overcooked. I got to go Dead by Daylight. Less stressful. Doom Eternal for me. I'm not a big fan of Undertale from what I've seen. I've never played it, but yeah. Red Dead Redemption's awesome. There's some nostalgia right there for me. Fall Guys, I think, is less brain rot than League. Let's go with Mario Kart Wii over Max Payne. Crap. All right, I love Astrobot. I also really like Devil May Cry 5. I think I would love to say Astrobot's the better game here, but I think Devil May Cry 5 beats it. I can't say Tetris doesn't belong in this list, and Tetris does not belong on the bottom half of 256, but neither does Oblivion in my mind. But I would rather have Tetris than Oblivion right now. The original Assassin's Creed versus Alien Isolation. I gotta go Alien Isolation. I'm going Village, simply because you have better replayability in Village. I would say I haven't played Black Myth. I've seen people do a lot with Black Myth, but I haven't played it myself. I don't have actual hands-on time, not even with a demo. But I have completed BioShock Infinite twice, unfortunately. So let's go with BioShock Infinite. Left 4 Dead 2 is such a cool game. Now these are great games. If I hadn't already chosen, knowing that I already have Devil May Cry 5 on the list, Bayonetta is kind of redundant in my mind. Neither of these are bottom 126s or would be 128s. But I think Phantom Pain is cooler than Bayonetta. Origins is cooler than Senua's Sacrifice. I haven't seen much. I've heard some really great things about Indiana Jones, The Great Circle. But it's Pokemon, like some of the best Pokemon games out there. So I gotta go Pokemon. Majora's Mask over a 2K game, yeah. Ocarina of Time versus Diablo 3. Diablo 3, I would actually say, is better. Apex or Rust Console Edition. Apex. Mafia 2 or Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm going to go Ori. FIFA or Valorant, both are kind of bottom half of 256 for me. I'm going to go Valorant, though. Jack and Daxter is better than Among Us. I'm going to play this in a bit, but I've heard what Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 does. but there's a lot of polish in Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, I've heard. But I gotta give it to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I hate that I'm saying this. Roblox is better than Last of Us Part 2. Fallout New Vegas is better than Tears of the Kingdom. Hands down. Lies of P is better than Borderlands 2. I love Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 was my game until it wasn't. Nier Automata, it's because I just don't like Spider-Man games. It's got to be Minecraft. Minecraft is so iconic. Black Flag versus those Pokemons, definitely. Arkham City versus, Rocket League, get out of here. Super Mario Maker, we're going with that one. We got, Hades or Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I've played both of these games. I've played Hades more recently, but I've been meaning to get back to Sekiro. I think I got to give it to Hades right now, though. It's got to be Elden Ring. Wii Sports is a staple, but it's got to be Elden Ring. It's got to be Sands of Time. I've seen some great and interesting things out of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I got to give it to Sands of Time. Let's go 64. Let's go Hitman World of Assassination. Let's go Horizon is better than Dying Light. Halo 3 or A Way Out, it's got to be Halo 3. Celeste is better than Jedi Survivor. Doom is better than GTA 5 by a landslide in my mind. Rayman Legends is better than Battlefront 2. I would say Plague Tale Requiem, and having not played Plague Tale Requiem, but played a lot of Fallout 4, Plague Tale Requiem. Now, if this is the Dead Space, even if it's the remake or the original, that's actually pretty hard. I love both of these games for entirely different reasons. Do I go open world or do I go linear? Do I do power fantasy or do I do a horror game? But by the end of Dead Space, I think you get into power fantasy levels. I gotta give it the original Infamous. Raft or God of War Ragnarok? I think I'm gonna give it a Ragnarok. Dark Souls Remastered or Journey. I'm going to give it to Dark Souls. Sekiro, or no, not this. Shadows. I'm going to give it to the original Metal Gear. I'm going to give it to Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is really cool. We got to give it to Half-Life. Got to give it its due. We're going to, having never played either of these games, I like the art style of Wind Waker more. Uncharted 2 beats that so hard. Bully is cooler in my mind. Hogwarts Legacy is a better game. Black Ops, we got to give it to Arkham Knight over Days Gone. I'm currently playing Days Gone on my personal time. I like Days Gone, but yeah. Got to go Infamous 2 there. I think Animal Well's better than Smash Bros. Ultimate. Lost Crown or X? I think it's X, actually. Last of Us or Persona 5? It's got to be Persona. Destiny 2 or God of War 3? Okay. Let me think. God of War 3, I think, is better than Destiny 2. BioShock is better than Subnautica. GTA San Andreas is better than Outlaws. I've played the demo of Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. Resident Evil 4 Remake over Overwatch. I've played both of these games. I've really liked God of War, the 2018 reboot. 3D World's good, but it's not the best Mario I've played either. So I got to give it to God of War. Battlefield 1 or Genshin Impact. I'm not a Genshin fan, and I would even say Genshin Impact is better. GTA 4 is better than the original God of War, though. I will say that. I will give it to that. Skyward Sword or Gary's Mod. Gary's Mod is broken, and Gary's Mod by itself isn't as interesting as the games that would come out of Gary's mod. So I actually got to give it to Skyward Sword. Demon Souls or Marvel Rivals? That is a tough one, actually. I'm not the biggest fan, but I do see how Marvel Rivals is doing good things. Demon Souls laid such a groundwork for an entire genre of games. So I think I've got to give it to Demon Souls for the fact of its groundwork. Like a Drake, I'm just not a big racing guy. I would be shanked in my sleep if I didn't say Expedition 33. Mass Effect, I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. Bloodborne beats Mario Kart 7 so handily. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is a funny game. I am thinking about trying to get it on the channel at some point, but yeah. COD Mod 2. Okay. This is the remake. It's not the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. So I've got to give it a Shadow of the Colossus. I enjoyed my time with Resident Evil 3 remake, but I never played through Nemesis. So I don't know what I was missing. I didn't realize what I was missing like a lot of people other did. I love Shadow of the Colossus, though. Terraria, I love Terraria. Infamous Second Son was really fun. KOTOR is really iconic. But I think I've got to give it to Luigi's Mansion. Both amazing games. I got to give it to Outer Worlds, though. Animal Crossing or Skylander. New Horizons, I'm going to give it to that. Galaxy or Twilight Princess, I got to give it to Galaxy. Five Nights at Freddy's or Metal Gear Revengeance, it's an easy choice for me. Lego City Undercover is an interesting game. It's flawed in a lot of areas, though, unfortunately. So I got to give it to Star Wars Force Unleashed. Outlast or Silent Hill 2. I'm going to give it to Silent Hill 2 just because Outlast... I can't forgive Outlast for having a game-breaking bug on me and just halting all my progress. It's so annoying. Fighter Z or Ratchet & Clank. This looks to be the remake of Ratchet & Clank, which I did not like. They edited some things and they... Like, oh, we're going to make some fun jokes poking at the original. It's like, no, the original was so good because of its tone and how you did, and then you neutered it in your remake of it. The fuck did you do, Insomniac? Oh. Okay. Melee. Oh, Super Smash Brothers Melee is really good. But I like Kingdom Hearts, but I think I got to give it to Melee. Even I got to give props to Melee. Skyrim belongs on the top half of this list. Far Cry 3 belongs on the top half of this list. Final Fantasy belongs. 16 does. I got to give it to Odyssey. I will admit to Odyssey. Mortal Kombat, because who plays Paladins anymore? Siege, just because for how long it's been running. Balatro is going to win. Milatro's not going to win. The Quarry was swallowed by Dead by Daylight, so we're going to give it to Ark. Beyond Two Souls, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima actually has a... Yeah. Counter-Strike Go or The Forest. I don't get called slurs in The Forest. Helldivers 2 is so much better than Tekken 7. Original Red and Blue Pokemon. I would say Street Fighter 6. I'm not a big fighting guy. New Super Mario Bros. Better than Team Fortress 2. Hollow Knight is better than Half-Life 2. RE2 Remake or The Blacklist. I really enjoyed The Blacklist. I enjoyed The Blacklist better than that one. Between these, I would give it to Space Marine 2 because I've played Space Marine 2 a little bit, but I would say PUBG for what it did for the Battle Royale stuff, actually pushing it forward outside of a mod. I like Kina, but I know Galaxy 2 is so much better. Warzone or The Sims 4? Gotta give it to Warzone. Stellar Blade or Tenkaichi 3? Now, I really like Tenkaichi, but I really like Stellar Blade. Little Big Planet on Payday 2, Little Big Planet. So much joys. Portal is so tight and so good. Power World, just because it's giving the middle finger to Nintendo when so many companies don't. Max Payne 3 is goated. Kirby's got to be on this list. And we're going to give it to Takes Two. Last one is going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're not done yet. Poppy Playtime or Red Dead Redemption 2. I got to give it to Red Dead 2. Tomb Raider or Splatoon. I'm going to give it to Tomb Raider. Okay, we're down to 128. Okay. So I would say Max Payne 3 is a better video game overall. Doom Eternal is better than Black Ops. I will admit to that. I would rather play through Mass Effect than Mario Galaxy 2. It's Arkham City. We're going to give... Ooh. Without mods, full edition of Fallout New Vegas. I got to give it to Fallout New Vegas in this one. Helldivers 2 is over Hogwarts Legacy. I would say Balatro. I would say Mario Galaxy. Genshin's better than Dying Light. Kirby. Dark Souls Remastered. Elden Ring. Breath of the Wild. Modern Warfare 2. Bloodborne. I think I would have liked Dragon Ball Fighter Z if it wasn't a tag fighter. If it wasn't a tag fighter and it was just you pick a Goku and you pick a Piccolo and you make them fight and you're done. That said, I am always bored to tears in No Man's Sky when I booted it up. So we're going to give it to that. I love myself some Doom 2016, but I got to say Phantom Pain. San Andreas is just a classic. You gotta give it its props. Arkham Knight, I really like Arkham Knight, and I think there's more to do. There's a lot to do in Persona 5, but this isn't Royal, so I gotta give it to Arkham Knight. Resident Evil 4 Remake all the way. GTA 4 is really good. Black Flag, because of the ship combat, is so cool. Witcher 3, I'm going to go with Wind Waker over Slime Rancher. I'm going to go with Super Mario Maker. I'm going to go with Odyssey on this one. I'll give it to... Ooh. I really like Uncharted 2. It's got a really good story, but it does get annoying towards the end. I think I got to give it to Blacklist. For these, it's going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's going to be Skyrim. For this, it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3. I really like the Tomb Raider one, and I don't remember having like a terrible amount of I'll give it to Tomb Raider over Melee. Yeah, I'll give it to Tomb Raider over Melee. I'm going to go with Ghost of Tsushima. For this, I would say Skyward Sword. For these, I would give it a BioShock. I would still give it a Tetris. Mario 64. Even I would say Mario 64 over that. Infamous 2 was doing some interesting things. I think they just were flawed on a couple of them. Devil May Cry 5 was so just succinct and great and so much depth to it. Halo 3 is awesome. But I think I got to give it to Automata. I actually got to give it to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I would rather Left 4 Dead 2 than Apex Legends. For these, I haven't played Ragnarok. I have played through and completed Red Dead Redemption. I think I almost 100%ed Red Dead Redemption. So I think I'm going to give it to Red Dead. I like the John Marston stuff a lot. I'm going to give it to Stellar Blade over Horizon Zero Dawn. Red Dead Redemption 2 is on there. I would rather play Bully just because I'm not a fighting game guy. Far Cry 3 was awesome. I wish Far Cry 4 was on here, though. Hollow Knight, I would say, is better than Expedition 33. I would prefer to play Diablo 3. Force Unleashed is just such a good time. Second Son is really good, but Terraria is better. The original Infamous I would prefer than Assassin's Creed 2. Shadow of the Colossus is going to go high on this. I already know that. Metal Gear Revengeance. We're going to go for Silent Hill 2. We're going to go for... Ooh. I got to give it to Cyberpunk. Ooh. I think it's going to go Metroid Prime. It's going Portal. We're going to go Like a Dragon. We're going to go Origins. Luigi's Mansion. Yakuza 0. God of War 3. Just because there's some... The Jak and Daxter Precursors Legacy unfortunately craps itself at the end. I would rather Hades than Minecraft. Lies of P. Mario Kart 8. This is Kart. I really love ship combat. I really loved Elden Ring. I think I gotta give it to Black Flag. That doesn't sound right in my head. All right. So I would still give it to Metroid Prime. Between these, I would go Fallout New Vegas. Between Dark Souls Remastered and Metal Gear Revengeance, I gotta go Revengeance. I've gotta go Far Cry over Genshin. Oh, I've sunk so many hours into Diablo 3. Do I go for Resident Evil 4 Remake, though? I'm gonna give it to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Doom Eternal or Arkham Knight. I would prefer to load up Arkham Knight right now. Terraria, easy. Remake for me personally. Yakuza 0 is gonna go high. I already know. Mass Effect beats Like a Dragon. I would say Red Dead Redemption. I would give it to Star Wars Force Unleashed. Mario Odyssey over Hades. Luigi's Mansion over GTA 4. Helldivers over Stellar Blade. Modern Warfare 2 over Red Dead Redemption. I would prefer Ghost of Tsushima over GTA San Andreas. I'm going to give it to Origins because I think the world is a lot better developed and smoother to traverse. I really liked Infamous, but I got to give it to Origins. Galaxy. We're going to go Hollow Knight. We're going to give it to BioShock. Breath of the Wild. Shadow of the Colossus. These are some heavy hitters here. I would say Devil May Cry 5 and Skyrim. I think Wind Waker is better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I would say that Tomb Raider... No, I would actually say Super Mario Maker is better than Tomb Raider. Now, do I go for stealth espionage action, tactical espionage operations, or Tetris? I gotta give it to Phantom Pain. Oh, Bloodborne or Nier Automata. I like the aesthetic of Bloodborne so much. Arkham City or Balatro. I'd rather play Balatro. Ghost of Tsushima or Baldur's Gate 3. I would go Ghost of Tsushima personally. We're down to the top 32. Gonna go for Shadow of the Colossus. Ooh, Metal Gear Phantom Pain. Easy. I would say Devil May Cry 5. I would say Breath of the Wild. Yakuza 0. Red Dead Redemption, Odyssey, Wind Waker, Balatro, Revengeance, I think would be a better game. I would say Metroid Prime is better than Metal Gear Solid 4 Remake. I would say Terraria is better than Super Mario Maker. Galaxy beats Black Flag. Mass Effect beats Bioshock. Bloodborne beats Skyrim. Shadow of the Colossus or Balatro. On one hand, we make the number go up. On the other hand, we have an emotional journey as we ride endlessly across open plains and take down giant walking buildings. But on the other hand, number go up. Oh crap. On one hand, we traverse endlessly over open plains, and on the other, we make number go up. No. As complete video games over all time, I think you could gain more enjoyment out of Terraria, but up front, Breath of the Wild is going to be easier to pull people in. But I got to give it to Terraria. Revengeance or Devil May Cry 5? I'm going to give it to Revengeance, actually. Yakuza 0 or Red Dead Redemption. We're going to give it to Super Mario Odyssey over Wind Waker, Phantom Pain over Ghost of Tsushima, Prime over Galaxy, Bloodborne over Mass Effect. I'd rather Revengeance over Terraria. Aha! Crap, Balatro or Prime. I would actually say Prime. I would actually say that's where Balatro ends. I'm gonna say I would say Yakuza 0. No. What is the best video game of all time? I would say Yakuza 0. These are hard. Damn. All right. Bloodborne or Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Only one can continue. I have no idea here. I'll give it a Phantom Pain. I don't feel great about that, though. I would go Phantom Pain over Revengeance. I would go Metroid Prime. And between those, it's got to be Metroid Prime. Okay, what were people's top picks? Minecraft. Red Dead Redemption 2, Elden Ring. I respect those top three. I can understand where you're coming from. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is too long to be the best video game of all time, but I understand where you're coming from. I don't agree with The Last of Us Part 2. I do not believe Cyberpunk 2077 is even top 10. Witcher 3, I could see being top 10. Last of Us, I might see top 10. GTA 5, I don't think is top 10 because I would not count Grand Theft Auto Online. I would only count GTA 5 as it is. Undertale, I can see why. San Andreas, I can see why. Skyrim, I can see why. I think Smash Bros. Ultimate's too new. I think Clair Obscure's too new. The rest of the, didn't feel great. Didn't feel great towards the end there, but those decisions had to be made. That's it for me tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you've seen this, if you're watching the VOD, thank you for watching the VOD. I'll be back tomorrow night with something else. Have a great one.